I think we talked about this before, but living here in the Midwest, there's not the fossil richness of other places. Is that because of the glaciers wiping things out?
So there's a few different reasons for that, and I wouldn't necessarily say the Midwest is lacking in fossil richness. In fact, the
Dinosaurs,
Cleveland
maybe,
Trail, well,
right?
yeah, it is lacking some dinosaurs, but there's a reason for that. Well, much of the
Okay.
Midwest was actually covered by the Western Interior Seaway from the Middle Jurassic to the end of the Cretaceous period. So you were underwater during that time. So maybe you didn't have dinosaurs. You still can find dinosaurs, but areas like Kansas are very rich for pterosaur fossils, which are, pteranodon comes from Kansas,
Yeah, yeah.
from the Niobrara Chalk, which is remains of the Western Interior Seaway. But you're right about the glaciation. The glaciation did destroy a lot of the sedimentary remains of Appalachia, which would have been the continent that the dinosaurs would have lived in eastern side of the country. Because during the Cretaceous period, the United States was split into two continents. Well, Laramidia being the western portion of the U.S., which is where T-Rex comes from. It's where Triceratops and Stegosaurus and all of our most
The
known
legends, yeah.
yeah, South Dakota, Utah. I mean, all of these places were smack dab right on the coast of Laramidia. But we haven't had much fossils from the Cretaceous or the Mesozoic era in the eastern part of the United States because of glaciation, and also it's a mountainous environment. So the Appalachians would have still existed within the time of the dinosaurs. They would have been much higher. They would have been almost as tall as the Himalayas at that time. So, you still had this preventing a lot of sedimentary remains from being washed up. But every now and then, dinosaurs are still known to be found in the Midwest. In fact, I think Missouri just named one of their first dinosaurs a hadrosaur. I think it was Missouriensis something.
Interesting.
So there are dinosaurs in the Midwest, but they're not as common as in other parts. The the Midwest, in my opinion, if you're going fossil hunting in the Midwest, you should be looking for Dunkleostes in the Cleveland Shale. There's no beating placoderm fishes. Those things are so cool. Or, some of the shales around Chicago are famous for the Tully monster, which is the Illinois state
Yeah.
fossil.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
aware of that.
And those are, I gotta say, they're pretty charismatic. I have a friend in Colorado who collects them. Mm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. I'm from Wisconsin. A lot of woolly mammoth, I want to say. Yeah.
Michigan, Wisconsin. I think they've even found a decent amount of Ice Age fossils in Chicago as well. So you will find that material. In
Yeah.
fact, I worked with a really well-preserved mastodon that was collected by the University of Michigan, and we actually had that same skeleton on display at the World Fossil Finders Museum in South Dakota that I used to work
Okay.
on. Yeah. So there was a lot of animals. There was a lot of Ice Age flora and fauna in the
Ice Age for sure.
Chicago region. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of dinosaurs, but that doesn't mean that you can't find some bones in a gravel pit. Or it doesn't mean you can't find an isolated pocket every now and then. I think New Jersey just found a fossil deposit, and they have some dinosaur bones in Maryland as well. So you never know. Every
You
now
never.
and then, crazy things can happen with geology. I mean, glaciers are not an exact science. They'll leave little tiny smidgens. I've always wanted to go prospecting in certain parts of Wisconsin that have some of those remaining pieces of rocks that haven't been completely glaciated. I think it's by not Kenosha, but by the Minnesota border.
Okay.
Mhm.
Huh.
Southwestern, maybe a little bit
Okay.
south central.